Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the final autumn international match of the day. This one, France versus South Africa. A massive matchup. Les Bleus at home, taking on the Box, and I cannot wait to see who does manage to get themselves the victory. Now, this game is about 15 minutes away from the kickoff, so we will be looking through the starting lineups and the reserve. Of course, there was the news of the late change for the Springboks, having Kwagga Smith injected into that starting lineup rather than Jasper Visa. But we have got Ruth in the chat, also Gareth and Nazi Williams. Hope you guys are all doing very well and hope you are excited for another big matchup that we are getting to see for the autumn internationals. Now, we've already seen a couple upsets throughout this round. We've seen Italy take down the Aussies. We have also seen a closely contested one between Argentina and Wales, but this game has the potential of being game of the weekend, and there is still the All Blacks versus Scotland to come, but this is the starting lineup for the French in this matchup. Cyril Bailly will be in the front row alongside Julien Mochon and also Yui Antonio. Then from there, Cameron Walkie at number 4. He's a versatile fellow, and he can play at either lock or loose forward, depending on whereabouts the French need him. Then they have Oscar Flamand at number 5. Anthony Gelon going to be playing at number 6. He can also slot in at 8 if required, but instead they have decided blindside will be where they find him for this match. Charles Olivon at number 7 and Gregory Aldrit slotting in at number 8. That is the 4-pack for the French in this one. And also, cheers back to man. Visit seeing you. Yeah, Hamish says, Kian. Yeah, we are still going. We might be about 26 hours without sleep, but we are still very excited for this matchup that it is just about to take place. Antoine Dupont, number 9, terrific player. He is going to be one to certainly watch out for throughout this contest. Romain Intermac going to be playing at number 10. Then also Mofana out on the left wing. Dante and Fiku will make up the midfield. Damien Pinot, the try-scorer machine, out on the right wing. And then it is going to be Thomas Ramos there at number 15. So that is the starting lineup for the French. Now we look through at the box. They are going to be as follows. Now, I did mention about Jasper Visa being a late change in this contest. Unfortunately, he has been taken out. That will mean that Kwagga Smith does get himself put into that number 8 jersey. But in the front row, Oxner Share, Bongi Mbonambi, and Franz Malharba, a very strong front row trio. But they have decided to go with the slightly stronger off the bench this matchup. Maybe they feel it's a better opportunity to unleash the likes of a Malcolm Marks a little bit later on. But Eben Etzebeth there at number 4 with a new locking duo partner here, Franco Mostert there at number 5. That is due to the injury that we saw, unfortunately, last week of Lou Diacha. It seems like he could be out for quite some time. So now it is just a waiting game to find out whether or not Mostert secures himself that spot at 5 or whether they do go along the lines of a Marvin Ori, Jason Jenkins, one of those other Springbok options. Looking through at the loose board trio, Sia Khaleesi, number 6. 7 is Peter Steph Toy, and then number 8, like I mentioned, it will be Kwagga Smith, who does get to close out the 4-pack and come on box. Let's get it. Says Nkosi there, and also other France locks good enough without Valimza. Says Gareth, I'd say so. Cameron Walkie, a very dangerous player, and Flamand, a bit of an underrated player, I would say. For France, not too many people know of him, but he's very handy when it comes to stealing that ball on the line out and also just really bringing that physicality of a rolling maul. Something France might look to do. They were saying before this match, the battle could be definitely in the hookers here with Mochon versus Bongi Mbonambi and then Malcolm Marks coming off the bench. Great to see Bongi Mbonambi back again. And the team says Nkosi and South Africa play like they did against Ireland. They will win, says Aaron. And go the Bok. How are you, mate? Raining in Joburg. I'm doing all right. I am probably more sleep deprived than ideally a person should be. But it doesn't seem like it's quite kicked in yet. I feel like I got my second wind, mainly because this is a game that I certainly could not miss with how big of a contest it's going to be and how epic of a team or how epic of a contest it's going to be in general with these two sides going head-to-head. Doesn't happen too often, France to win. There's Richard there. Then looking through the back line, Faf de Klerk going to be there at number 9 and Damien Valimza at 10. So they have made the change from Jaden Hendrickse, who was sitting in there at 9 last week. Instead, they did decide that de Klerk may have that little bit more experience and also maybe a bit more of a strategic kicking game rather than just booting it away for the sake of it. Looking through the inside centre, it will be Damien De Allende with number 13 being Jesse Creel-Kirtley. Arendse takes the spot off Makazole Mapimpi, and that's not an easy spot to get. That number 11 jersey has been secured for a very long time by Makazole Mapimpi, but he will instead find himself coming off the bench for this game. Chislin Gobby out on the other wing. He was starting at fullback last week, now moves out to where I think a lot of people have said is his preferred position. And then at number 15, a man who came off the bench last week, played pretty well, and that is Willie LaRue, who will be closing out the Springboks side. And Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good, says Nate. And also, guys, any prediction from you all? Think close game. Probably a safe bet in this one. You just never know with these two sides. Like they were saying on the commentary a bit earlier on, these two sides have drawn many times in the past. And this game, who knows, maybe it could be the case once again. We will have to wait and see exactly how it does end up going. But these are the benches. Pieto Malvaka coming off the bench with Wardi and also Falatia. Then Tolfa he will be a dangerous option in the locking duo when he does make his way off that bench. And then it will be Chaleru at number 20, Seku Makalu, that is, the man who's got legs that build like pistons when he starts getting them pumping. And then Luthu there, number 22, and Jalebur, recently coming back from his injury, does get the opportunity now to go out there and see exactly what he can do. But looking at the South African side, Malcolm Marks there, number 16, Stephen Kitsoff, 17, and Vincent Koch at number 18. Then Marvin Ore and Kwaka Smith no longer there. Instead, it is actually going to be the replacement who he can play a little bit of hooker and he can play a little bit of loose forward strap, but that is Dion Fori will be there at number 20. Kobus Reinach, Mani Labok on debut, and Makazole Mapimpi as the last man. And that Springboks side in 25-24 to France. There's Richard in South Africa for the upset. Let's go, says Lex X on 2019 last minute win by the Boks. So France will want revenge, and I'm thinking South Africa will win easy. Last week is an indicator of where South Africa are at, says Aaron. So I guess it's interesting because a lot of people would have said their game up against Ireland didn't really show that they were in the greatest of form at the moment, because they did seem like they were a bit lost while they were out there on the field. They didn't know their tactics until late in the game when they started finding that momentum, and that was when they started firing back up against Ireland. But until then, they just seemed unsure of what they actually wanted to do out there. And also, we'll get there. I'm sorry, guys, that there's no way we're winning against Les Bleus, says DJ. And also, Mapimpi and Pinot, best wings in the world currently, says Lex Axel. So one of them's in the starting lineup, and one of them will be coming off the bench at South Africa for the upset. Don't say a lot for the World Cup champions, says Richard. And of course, at the end of the day, this is the turf that they might end up defending their throne on. Not quite this exact ground, but in France, that's where the Rugby World Cup 2023 is going to be happening. So they need to learn how to win here if they do want a chance of making it 2 in a row. But looking through at South Africa's next games, they've got themselves Italy next week, and then 2 weeks' time, they've got the big game where they will be going head-to-head with the English. That is a 6:30 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. Should be a very exciting game indeed. I believe France just have themselves the one other fixture. And then other than that, not too many other games taking place. But these are a few of South Africa's recent fixtures. As you can see, their Ireland in their game up against them last week, they did lose 19 points to 16. Rugby Championship, though, relatively solid for the Springboks, getting 2 wins over Argentina and going 1-for-1 with Australia and 1-for-1 with New Zealand also. And then I had to dig a little bit deeper for France's recent games, and they are actually up against Japan in July. They were able to get themselves a nice one, 42 points to 23, and then that close, narrow victory, 20 points to 15. Although I should mention that was with a French side that didn't quite have the same names in it as this side does in their game up against the Springboks, but they also were able to get themselves a narrow win last week up against Australia, 30 points to 29. So doing very nicely for themselves there. And also France with Dusty last week as well, says Gareth. And also we have got their come back the Super Box, help us help you, says Lax Axel. But now France just about making their way out onto this field, and the crowd in attendance, they will certainly be loving having this French ground well and truly rocking with France versus South Africa. It's pretty much what you could consider as the equivalent of a World Cup final, or at least a World Cup quarterfinal anyway, might be the way that it ends up falling on the draw. Another ref change. I don't know who he is. There's Richard there. So it seems to be quite a few of the referees are getting changed relatively late, aren't they? We did see it earlier on with Jaco Piper. Ain't letting that forward pass slip, say, forwards, says Nate. And there's Bongi Manami. He's already got a major sweat up even just making his way out onto the field. That is how you know he's nice and warm. He's ready to go. And Faf de Klerk also got a bit of a sweat up. So I think it's just a hot day in France for these guys. But Kwagga Smith, massive opportunity for him getting added into that starting lineup rather than coming off the bench. It's going to be huge for him. But Makazole Mapimpi actually coming off the bench rather than being in the starting lineup. A complete change for that man as he has been used. There you go. They have just set a stat. This is the first time ever that Makazole Mapimpi will be coming off the bench. And Box of Vegetarians, I can't chew this big baguette, says Gareth there. Oh, the South African national anthem's playing. This is normally my part, isn't it? Maybe I should be sleep deprived more often. I think that's the best I've ever played it. I'm running off no sleep. And also, we have got there an eye from Aaron and in the chat as well. And also, very worrying about the kicker situation for the bot. Got to be better tonight. What's your view, Hamish? If they give Chisel and Colby the kicking tee, I will be very sad because I feel like he's not the kicking option going forward, but they're currently just doing what they feel might be the right plan, but I don't think it actually is. Like Damien Willemse normally kicks pretty well throughout the season of the URC. He misses one kick at international level and they go, no longer our kicker. We'll go with someone who hasn't kicked in 2 years and see how he goes. And let's go. The box, says Nate. And in the chat as well. But the Springbok supporters are certainly in attendance for this matchup. They want to see an awesome performance from their side. But I think the thing is they have to start well. Whereas France Stein, he has been left out, an honky-tonk man in the house, says Stephen in France by 8, says Brian Penner there. And let's go box from Nate. But the South African national anthem has been sung, which means we've just got the French. And then from there, we are going to be out on the field ready to go for this exciting international test match. And yeah, is he still 10 after last week? Says Richard, yeah. So Damien Willemse, he keeps his spot at fly half. But for me, if you're going to do something along those lines of not having him as your kicker, you need to have him at fullback, or you need to have someone at fullback or fly half who can kick. And now to Kurt Hamish Cobain, says Neil Newman there. Because or else then, kicks do win matches. If you're only losing by a little bit, and then put that rendition up there, all right, Hamish, says Nazi Williams, and go the box, says Valencia. And in the chat as well. So do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, your score predictions and also who you think will be the first try scorer of this game. I have to say, Damien Penaud has been a try-scoring machine for a long time now for France. So he's always one that comes to mind relatively early. But I want to say, I'm going to go either Gregory Aldred or Kwagga Smith. And if Paul Willemse is out, it would have been some real grudge, would have been some real grudge. And the forward, says Gareth, although they're loose forwards and the locks that they've got at the moment, they still will definitely be able to carry their own weight out there and can't be Pollard, man, says Nazi Williams. And yes, hopefully a box kicker is on point and French crowds has great voice tonight, says Vinton O'Mora. And also I'm surprised South Africa are not confident going into this game after the Ireland game. I'd make them strong favourites for this game. Ireland, far stronger team at home than the French, says Aaron Daly. I think it's more down to the lack of game plan that we saw from the Springboks. And I think a lot of Springbok supporters admit that as well. The first 60 minutes, it was just, they just did what they wanted, but what they wanted wasn't actually successful. And it was only when the benches started rolling on that they started seeming like they found that structure that the box would have liked to have from the start. A huge improvement from the last time in Stone Cold. Yeah, actually, I almost had to give myself a pat on the back there. And Colby, first try scorer, and it's time for the game of the weekend, says Kian. And also we have got there, I just wonder if it is the South African plan to lose all 4 games to surprise people next year, says Richard. The thing is, the only side in the world that I can think of that would be willing to sacrifice 4 games in a row to be able to prove a point that they can play better next year is the Springboks. I feel like it's all about the long game for their side, although it's a tough one to keep people getting behind you because theoretically the coaches aren't going to say, we tried to lose this game so that we could play better next time. And Willemse did South Africa when he said he didn't need them, says Gareth. And also there I go, Willie for the first try. Says, go to Sean and watch France's defensive breakdown work. That's what separates them from the rest. Says Brian, yeah, they're a tough side, France, and Wayne Barnes, will be in charge of this matchup now. And is this a must win for France? I wouldn't say a must win, but a confidence builder if they can get themselves the job done. They beat Australia a little bit earlier on. I believe they've got one other game of the Autumn International, so not a huge amount of games for the French, but they have also got the Six Nations next year that they will be looking to get themselves in the trophy cabinet. But Wayne Barnes, they're saying he international 100 referee. That was not a sentence. We'll try that again. 100 test matches as an international referee for Wayne Barnes, brought up last week. This will be 101, and France kicked the ball off, and we're underway now for the final match of the Sunday night. Now, Quagga Smith takes it nicely. Looks like already Gregory Aldrich just trying to cause a few issues at breakdown time, trying to cause disruption. The best way of putting it. I'm going to put my neck on the line and say South Africa win by at least 6. It also made the best team win, says Alvin. And also, we have got Hamish looking forward to the commentary. South Africa by 10, says Olivia. Kick downfield from Faf de Klerk. Doesn't find the touchline. So now nicely cleaned up by Thomas Ramos. Goes over the top of Cheslin Colby, who almost has to foot trip him. Now he has to be careful there because we saw him get yellow carded last week. So the discipline of Colby is still one that's a bit of a question mark, depending on whether or not how much adversity, I guess, is a better way of putting it for how much he does give away in terms of penalties. Faf de Klerk round the side. Penalty goes the way of France. That's going to be against the Springboks. Faf de Klerk just jumping the gun a little bit. I can see a precipitated Springbok on a huge baguette outside Stade de France, says Gareth at the French. Every time a tackle is made, says Can. And that's the thing. France are one of those sides that in the breakdown, they are always going to be there. No matter what, they're going to be fighting you for every little inch of space. But Cheslin Colby, yeah, he was tackled well. And then he actually wrapped his legs around Thomas Ramos's leg. Took him down like he was doing some sort of figure 4 leg lock. After Clerk rushing up a bit too much there, and France's breakdowns will be the difference. And I see Greg, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well indeed. Because surely to God, they have a better 10 in South Africa, says Richard. Now, Thomas Ramos, they're lining up this kick. Only 1 minute 40 into the game, and France could already find themselves with some points on the board. You guys are able to slot this one over quite nicely. Now, it's from about 42 metres out. It's not the easiest kick in the world to have as your very first kick of the day, but he certainly strikes them well enough to have the distance here, Thomas Ramos. Strikes it all right, or has he? Yes, he has. It has gone over, and that will make the score now 3-0 to France. And one little mistake from Faf de Klerk, and they are already down by 3 in this game. The Springboks, I fancy France because they have the best defensive coach, Sean Williams. So I'm going for 34-24. And French might just choke on Bok Biltong. Thanks for your honest view. Love it. Says the roof. Now it's going to be kicked off long. France taking it, not cleanly. And Gregory Aldrich's the man who put that one down, and now it's available back in the hands of the Springboks. Peter Setatoy. One more to Damien Dialendo. Nice short pass up in the hands of Villaroo. Now, going to be, I believe, a knock on there, and France have been able to take it back, and the advantage was over from the initial knock on that we saw from Gregory Aldrich. Does anyone know if England won at the Rugby League World Cup? They actually, do you want me to, I'll mention it, but I'll say spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't know already. In 3, 2, 1, England lost in golden point time to Samoa. So the end scored 27 points to 26. I do apologize to anyone who I've just spoiled that for. It wasn't my intention, but that's why I had the warning. And also, Monday All Blacks versus Scotland tomorrow. Yes, it certainly is going to be. Now, France with a nice clearing kick downfield now means that South Africa have themselves the line-out opportunity here. And indeed, best defence in world rugby, says Brian. All right, first chance for South Africa. AB's 15 versus the Barbars. That is taking place at the exact same time as the All Blacks game. That annoys me so much that those two games overlap. Eamon Etzebeth takes it nicely at the front. Tries to give it off to Kurtley Alderson, which is interesting to see that he was actually right next to the breakdown. Looking for the ball off the back of the rolling ball. Drop cold by Franco Mostert there. Bit of a mistake early on from both of these sides, in fact, with the handling. I think they will not be too happy about Franco Mostert just having a little bit of a push and a shove there. We'll be disappointed, though, for putting that one down. Definitely because he's just been put into the starting lineup due to the injury of Ludiacha. The last thing that he wants is to lose his spot there, and I reckon maybe Faf will do it tomorrow. He's pretty explosive. Or do it tonight. Dynamite in small package, says Ruth. And also, we get South Africa given early penalties here, and I don't know why England do not have Sean Williams as their defensive coach, says Greg. And also go the box, says Berenice. 20 metres out from their own line here. France are going to have themselves the line out. Well, sorry, the scrum feed, I should say. And Pont Dupont. The battle that everyone wanted to see was Dupont versus de Klerk. And we're going to get to see it now today. There might be a little bit of skullduggery going on, maybe a little bit of pushing and shoving between the two just to try and psych out the opposition, but that ball's gone in from Dupont. We might just about see it from de Klerk. He tried it, but he went to the short side there. Dupont, a little bit too quick now. Damien Pinot with the chip and chase. Curtly Arinsa cleaned up in the process. Willie LaRue looked like he was out of the field of play, but the referee has said play on just for now. Now, Eben Etzebeth, he was lifted up and put that down, and now he's just angry. Eben Etzebeth. I like how angry he could be while not having any legs on the ground. Nice cross kick. Gislan Colby knocks the ball on, and the French have been able to keep alive. Now Remain into Mac. Down the wing, great step. Just into touch there. And also, we get this Australia have won the Rugby League World Cup. They will destroy Samoa, says Greg, and that game is going to be taking place next week. And then as well, and also come on box, says Nathan How's it? Amish says, no, I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. We are currently sitting on about 27 hours of being awake. I did get up early yesterday morning doing the Rugby League World Cup. And then from there, we've actually been awake ever since. All right, Gislan Colby, just a little bit of a mistake out on the wing. The Springboks just take the quick throw straight to the front, and Damien Valimza now gives it the almighty hoof downfield. That is a brilliant kick downfield from Valimza, and great job, bro. Says no, and also come on the box. Prove your third behind ABs and Ireland, says Aaron. Also, Gray D's nuts. Mr. Ryan, Rugby League, the only rugby Australia is good at because nobody else plays it, says Simp Slayer. Yeah, they have got themselves a big final up against the Samoans next weekend. It's going to be an absolutely awesome encounter. I believe we are going to be covering that one on the channel as well. And Springboks to be bloodier than a Budit or Bordeaux wine after this game, says Gareth. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Going to be thrown in nicely taken by Charles Olivon at the back. Now kick downfield from Romain into Mac, goes straight to Chisel and Colby, who's now got a bit of space to try and show off those quick stepping feet that he's got, but he's shut down straight away by Cameron Walkie. And Olivon now to Clerk, goes off to Willie LaRue. Little chip and chase. It's gone straight out to Jesse Creel, who's dropped the ball. And now the French will have the option of either the line out or the scrum feed. And how long before Barnes is in the tackles? I know that he likes getting involved early, Wayne Barnes. And also, how's it, Hamish? From I messed that up worse than last time, Sean. And also, good morning from down under. Guten Tag, bonjour, tout, says Dabilt. And also, if we lose, which position will we be in the ranking, says DJ. So I assume by we, you mean South Africa. I know someone was mentioning there's a chance that South Africa could drop to 6th if they lose this game. And also, did you have a sleep? I did not. Pretty much, I have been up since 8, or no, in fact, earlier than that. I've been up since 7:30 a.m. yesterday morning. So, yeah, about 26, 27 hours or so on myself. I'm not doing too badly overall, which is always a good sign. And also, they're not wrong, Sim Slayer. And also, we have got there a little bit earlier on about if we lose the positioning. But yeah, I've found it very hard to follow the world rankings lately because so many sides, like you see an upset win, and it just completely changes it. And the fans for the Mexican wave going, says Ken. Yeah, they are certainly enjoying the atmosphere early on. We've got a bit of a stoppage in play here, ladies and gentlemen, just while we wait for the players to get themselves sorted out. I think this is going to be the scrum feed now for Samoa. And also watching from Equance. Have I said that correctly? I hope so. France, they look like their backline's relatively compact. Until maybe, are we seeing a few more steps out wide from Damien Pinot? Maybe a little bit. And France first try, says Hami there. They were able to get themselves the first blood in this match, getting the points on the board, so they wouldn't mind being able to get themselves a little bit more than just the 3. And how's the pitch looking? It's not looking too bad at the moment. It seems like there's a little bit of slipperiness out there. I believe that's because it's such a late night game that the dew will be on the surface. Now, ball available for Dupont to wrestle it back and give it to Romain Intermac. Goes down towards the 22. Curtly Arinze now charging. Great low tackle made by Anthony Gelange. Now, Springboks, they've got the penalty advantage, but they're not rolling away. Willie LaRue goes for the kick of mine. It doesn't work. Don't know why they tried it. And that is going to be now going back. And that's how you maximize your penalty kicking through the upright, says Ruth. And also, South Africa 6 is a joke. We all know South Africa, a big game team. They're not world champions for nothing, said Aaron Daly. Yeah, it just shows how quickly the world rankings can all get reshuffled. Like, just with a little tiny, like a loss or a win, just pretty much straight like that for all of the sides. But South Africa now, with Damian Valimza, look like they are going to be kicking this one into the touchline. Is it me or is Wayne Barnes' mic very quiet? It is. I don't even think he's got it turned on at the moment. So we just have to assume what he's saying, I think. It's the best way of looking at it. But Curtly Arinze, with the players just not quite rolling away. Now 22 metres out from the line. South Africa going to have themselves the line-out throw with Bongi Manambi to put it in. It's stolen by France. Now Dupont waits for it to bounce. Gives it off into the hands of Gregory Aldred. Will get wrestled down. South Africa not going to contest in that breakdown. Instead, they will just allow this ball to become available for Dupont to kick downfield. And hi, mate, how's it? Says Ezra, doing very well, mate. Hope you are well yourself. And I'm going with Italy winning the World Cup. Says Luke. Good kick downfield. Dupont doesn't quite find the touchline with that one, but now it will be an attack and run for Kwaka Smith. Now, he is an excitement machine. Always comes off the bench and has an impact, but now gets a chance to start due to Jesper Wiese's injury. Now Willie LaRue on the outside trying to break straight through. Another good tackle made by Dupont. Now the clear goes to LaRue. Oxnishare. Good carry, and currently the Springboks doing well with the ball retention. Eben Etzebeth almost putting that ball down, but has been able to just hang on to it. Now Mostert. It's up at the line again. It looks like it's some sort of injury in the back play. I think that is Cameron Walkie. That looked a bit high from Galfiku. Tried to adjust South Africans' ears there. Now out to Cheslin Colby. Cutting on the inside, running straight sideways. The defense have to try and shut him down. Great tackle made by Yui Antonio, though, to be able to do so. And we don't want hot girls, says Mitigate. And Arinze scoring in every test he has played, says DJ. Now Dupont, another injury. Jonathan Dante now down. So it seems like at the moment, France are losing players flat out, which is not what they would have been wanting. But Dante does not look like he's in a good way. It seems like something to do with his head. Maybe the face might have gotten a poke in the eye or something along those lines. It just turned into the game. Has it been so far? It's been a quick-paced matchup between the two sides. A lot of handling errors early, unfortunately, but it seems like it is going to be more than likely a feeling out process for the first 20 to 30 minutes, and then the two sides will start to find their momentum. How did the cricket game go yesterday? We lost badly. We got bowled out for 78 runs. I had to open the batting, but I got 10 runs, which wasn't actually terrible for not playing in 10 years. And yeah, from there, didn't actually have to bowl either. And I'll say thanks, IC's Ezra, and also we have good to have you seen this series. Is this a cheap shot on Jonathan Dante? He gets the headbutt from Peter Steph Toy. They might have another look at this one now. And also, hi guys, it's all get down to the goal kicking for us, South Africa, says John. Good morning, Amish to Loafer. Welcome in, Laurie. And also, how many live streams you've done today? I think this is the 6th you are doing. Don't you feel sleepy? I mean, there is a little bit of sleepiness there, but once we finish this one, we will be going to bed pretty much for the whole day. Also, more chance of France winning today than Italy winning a World Cup. Right. Jonathan Dante's on the ground. That's really dirty from Peter Steph Toy. Leading with his head, flying headbutt. I think this is going to be a red for Peter Steph Toy here. And also why New Zealand women rugby team look more aggressive in attack from rest of all. I watched so many matches specifically Olympics. I guess it's just more just knowing your side and being able to push each other's limits, I guess you could say. And South Africa won a card, and I think they're going the right way to get one. Because that's pretty cynical. Direct contact to the head while the player was on the floor. He's not looking to move that player. Has Wayne Barnes got eyeliner on today. Looks a little bit different. No mitigation. This is a rare card for Peter Steph-Toy. A silly challenge, really. And that is going to be the end of what the hell is South Africa doing, giving away red cards by the sounds of it. And also, we got there, cricket is all about the cream teas and long lunches and beverages in the evening anyway, says Commentary Talk. And also, New Zealand women amateurs, now they're professional athletes. Also, you have to be super strong to lift Evan off his feet. Who's going to score first damage, says Ruth. My prediction originally, I did go with either Gregory Aldrit or Damien Pinot if it was a French player. And game is ruined now, says Dragon Celt. But the thing is, game, theoretically, you can say game is ruined, but Peter Steph-Toy, he knows he can't go in flying headbutts into players. Like, that's just dumb from him. He's going to get a suspension more than likely. He's got tears in his eyes at the moment, Peter Steph-Toy. He had a brain fade, and it cost him big time. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, you can't go around giving people flying headbutts. Cheslin Colby uses that cat-like agility to keep himself in the field of play. There was actually someone running drinks onto the field. Big kick from Colby goes into the 22, and it's going to be cleaned up now by Romain Interbeck. What a joke. The Frenchman needs an Oscar, says Lewis. I mean, it was still head on head. No mitigation. That's the big thing there, is the fact that if Peter Steph-Toy had at least tried to wrap his arms or done anything to show that he wasn't just going for a cheap shot, it would have been fine. But yeah, it was not a smart move from an experienced veteran like Peter Steph-Toy. And I think that's why he's so disappointed in himself when he went off the field, because he knew that he had just pretty much blown it. Too many errors from South Africa. I don't see us winning at this rate, says Thalbo there. And it's a shame. I really want to see a fair 15 on 15. And France in for an Oscar, says it was Louis there. And now it is going to be Faf de Klerk goes across to Damien de Linde. 40 metres out from the line in South Africa. They will still continue to attack. Now, I believe the red card here is for the full match rather than just the 20 minutes. He went in full force as well, yeah. There was nothing really saving it for him, unfortunately. Sekou Makalu, he's now out on the field. Oh, went for the contest in the air. And now Dupont cleans it up. Looking for the 50-22. He's got the kick in behind. It was close. And it's just outside of the 22. Headbutt to which body part? Straight to his head. So pretty much Peter Steph-Toy did a flying headbutt on the ground straight into the head of Jonathan Dante. And, there was really nothing it could have been other than a red, unfortunately, for Peter Steph-Toy. And also we have got there only for 20 minutes to get replaced with someone else, or the whole game off. I believe it could be the whole game off. But I'm not too sure, unfortunately. But as soon as we know after 20 minutes, I will let you know. And also, boy, he's quick, Cheslin Colby. He certainly is. And he has got that really good acceleration and the agility to go alongside it. Now, the rolling ball for South Africa sitting 22 metres out from their line, looking to march here. Franco Mostert asking for a penalty. Nicely to Wayne Barnes. Wayne Barnes goes, no, thank you. You just keep on rolling forward. Now, Bongion Banambi hanging on to us at the back. It's good defence from France. No, that time blue side entry. Well, there was Flamand, who decided to get a little bit too keen. Now, Damien Willemse goes on the outside to Jesse Creel. One more pass. Kurtley Arunsa tries to cut on the inside. A little bit high from Damien Pinot. Ended up riding around the neck region. South Africa, though, they are certainly going to have to deal with a lot of pace. Being shown a red card all day long. Says Tony there, yeah. It's pretty much the only thing it could have been. That's going to be the penalty now. In fact, they're going back. Everyone wants the ball. And also we have got there, so stupid, says Tony there. And also a shame, but at least the French Oscar winner still play the game. Or he's actually off the field currently for an HIA. So there's a chance that he may not return to the field depending on whether or not he has got a concussion and fails his HIA test. And also, why doesn't NRL clubs go shopping for young talent in South Africa schools? They're built for league, says Stone Cold. I guess it's just down to the budget side of things. Yeah, Jonathan Dante, he doesn't look too flashy. He looks like he's a little bit shaky. So the question is he going back out onto the field or is his night over? He's just sitting there on the sideline for now. And also going to be a duty game. Expect all-out brawls throughout the match. I think he failed his HIA. He looks to be sitting down. So, yeah, not only is Peter Steph-Toy's day over, it is actually going to be the man who we flying headbutted's day over as well. But unfortunately, we lost two players already. And don't bother telling us after 20 minutes. We'll figure it out for ourselves, says Stephen. Now, line out for South Africa. They're going to be about 22 metres out from the line now for the Springboks. Bongi and Manambi going to make sure that this one is relatively straight. It's simple, don't cheat, and you won't get sent off. AJ is serious and can't be mitigated. Aware headgear says commentary talk. That's going to be dropped by Franco Mostert. Another mistake. And France will be able to capitalize and get the ball back now. Antoine Dupont kicks it off the left boot, gone down to Chisel and Colby. I don't think he wants to do that all day because that could be dangerous if Colby can find a line break, but he's run straight into Charles Olivon. Now the ball almost out the back to Clerc, just able to knock it back to Franz Malherbe. That is hands down first for France. That cannot be a penalty, I wouldn't think. I wouldn't have called it a turnover either. I feel like that was a little bit hard done by Wayne Barnes. Now Cameron Walkie tries to drive forward. He's been able to make the tackle on Cheslin. Colby, nice hands though. He's going to be dropping the ball. But they will be going back for the initial penalty to France, I believe it is. It's going to be the offside on the scoreboard, says Nazi Williams. And there's, one moment, we all go like this. I feel like the scoreboard was a little bit slow, wasn't it? There we go, 16 minutes through now. It looks like there is an injury to Yui Antonio at this point in time. And also we have got there, by the way, you're a legend, bro. This is same run or some run of games you're doing, says Tony. Yeah. I believe we've done about, I want to say 12 to 14 hours of live streaming throughout our last 27 and a half or so hours being awake. And also we're here, he says this isn't the NFL, and also Detroit should have been carded against Ireland for being part of that spear tackle. Is your liability, says Brian. And GD play headbutting, definitely not legal in there as well. Okay, Yui Antonio just receiving attention. Now, I would like to see a replay of this one because my first initial reaction was the French player had his hands down on the turf, and then from there he did end up sliding them back onto the ball, or kind of ended up jumping onto the ball, and then that's where the turnover actually came from. So they're going to be able to get 3 points out of it, but not too sure how legal of a turnover it was for France. And I thought there was mitigation of the box 12, also attempted to clean out, knocking him offline, says Bruce. It was one of those ones, though, that with the fact that the toy didn't wrap or anything, it just made it look that much worse. Dupont got a broken finger. Throw some tape on it. CSK, and the perfect way to fix a finger that's broken, of course. Just strap it back on. Get some glue out. Kicked over. I would think, yes, it is. Thomas Ramos gets another. And that will now make the score 6-0 in favour of France. And Skullcap is more for ears than head. It's super thin padding, says Mr. Fantastic AJ. Now, I should mention that the Springboks are not out of this game yet. The reason I say that is because we saw Argentina get 6-0 up against Wales. And then from there, the Argentines did actually end up losing that contest. And it was a headbutt with force, not accidental, says Gareth. And there's, it's going to be kicked off long by South Africa, taken nicely by Gregory Aldrit. Now tries to break through, but driven backwards in that tackle by Oxnechet. And it would be cool to see France win a Rugby World Cup, says Rag and Selt. Yeah, something they have never been able to do before. Could 2023 on home soil possibly be there? Yeah, we will have to wait and see. But Dupont now kicks it long, looking for the touchline. He has been able to do so. Now Damien Willemse will not take the quick throw and come home. I'm 100% behind you, says David Johannes there. And also we have got the headgear's really not overly effective. And also come on, Chessie, says Amorni. And there as well. I should mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more live streams coming up in the near future. Next weekend, we have got more rugby union, some more rugby league alongside that as well. It's going to be an exciting weekend, and we will be covering it all on the channel. Also, tomorrow night, we have got New Zealand versus Scotland alongside Barbarians versus the ABs 15. We'll be keeping you updated on both of those contests, and headgear would definitely help absorb and distribute pressure, thus reducing penetration of impact. And also Argentina didn't get red carded, though, says DJ. That is true. They probably tried, or they normally try anyway, for Marcos Crema and Thomas Lavanini, but they were well behaved. And a 16 to 18 stone bloke flying head first, 6 millimeters of foam will protect you. Test it for us, says Mr. Fantastic. And also so frustrating to support the box lately, says URC News. Yeah, they're just making those little mistakes, such as the handling errors, such as the discipline, and the line-out throws have not been going too flash for them either. It's actually again stolen by Charles Olivon. Now, I believe it is going to be the French line-out here. Julio Marchand going to be going for it. New Zealand going to take the Rugby World Cup, says Calvin. And also we've got there tomorrow. Kiwis will be captaining 3 teams, 2 ABs and 1 Barbas. Thrown in, nicely taken there. It was straight enough, they say. Cameron Walkie claims it now into Mac. Goes off into the hands of Damien Pinot, the speedster. One more on the outside. Out wide to Seku Makalu. He's been taken down, though. And that man I mentioned got pistons for legs. And if he gets them pumping, he's extremely hard to take down. Julien Marchand goes around now. Quaka Smith. Drive for the turnover. Wasn't quite able to do so. Almost becomes a rolling maul there for the French. And their breakdown speed is immense. At the moment, Cyril Bailly. Our Recycles gives it to the point. Yui Antonio, the big man, does play for La Rochelle in the top 14. The Pont searching for it. Gives it off to Gregory Aldred, also another La Rochelle player. Now short ball, another advantage in favour of the French. South Africa got to be careful here. It looks like they are still trying to get that turnover in the breakdown, but it's not going to work out. Now Cyril Bailly reaches out, and I believe he's got it on the line, and that's going to be the try for France. Also, New Zealand going to take the Rugby World Cup, and also we have got their Peter Stiff the Toy. Did he have a brain fart moment? So disappointing. Can't understand this mentality. Red card definitely correct. Yeah, it was just one moment that he didn't think for, and it's pretty much cost him about 70 minutes of this contest. And his side will have to defend with only the 14 on the field. And South Africa always have a crappy first half. That's the reason they don't win games lately, says Demigod. And also, what are the odds, says Dark Scar Flame. I'll have a quick look. See how they are sitting, but I would assume that France are really heavy favourites at the moment. And Cam Barnes fixes mic. And is there any way you can show the red and yellow cards on your scoreboard? Says Tyler, they don't actually have that option, but I can just tell you that the red card was Peter Steftotoy, and any other card that we see throughout the match, I will just let you know exactly how it was. But nicely done getting ugly for South Africa. Don't seem to have any plan, says Salvatore. And that is exactly what happened. Wow. South Africa are $18 underdogs at this stage of the match. That is absolutely massive for the Springboks. Now, they almost fought back up against the Irish, but $18 is a huge number. And also, we have France by 20 now, says Humps for Coin. And also, there is a red in the Safa flag, says Gareth. And pretty ugly for South Africa. Just don't seem to have any plan. Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? That one's gone over, though, and that's going to make the score now 13-0 in favour of France. And the back line, great work from France there. Damien Pinot went to Thomas Ramos. Then from there, Seku Makalu. It was close to that touchline, but just managed to stay on the field of play. And then Cyril Bailly just drives his way over. Always going to be hard to stop from that close to the line. 21 minutes through. South Africa, they are definitely up against it in this contest. Amada said, when are you streaming cricket next? Pretty much when we stop feeling like we might get a copyright strike from the main people who do cricket on YouTube. It's the best bet, so probably after the World Cup, because I'd like to think that they wouldn't copyright strike us outside of that, and if they did, then that would be very annoying. And I thought Aldred dropped that then. Says, maybe the next World Cup will go to Ireland or France, to be honest, and South Africa are 21 for 1. Says Umps for Coins. And also take on the South Africa handicap now. This game is far from dead. Says Aaron, and South Africa will win by 8. Says Shanna Lee. And also we have got their equality in the box team. All their pants are brown now. Says Gareth. And also 13-0. Now, Bongi Umbanumbi. They've said that they've already lost 2 lineouts here, and it seems to be the great jumping of Charles Olivon. He's just reading it like a book. That time they don't contest for it, though, there for France, and it's taken by Eben Etzebeth currently on the halfway line. South Africa looking to march just a little bit further forward. And that seems to be the tactic. At the moment, that is going to be another advantage for the Springboks. Bongi Umbanumbi looks up to try and check it out, and that is going to be the penalty. And you're a legend, a natural commentator. They should be paying you to comment on cricket, says Commentary Talk. And we have done a little bit of it in the past on the channel. I believe we are hopefully going to be doing the New Zealand versus India series, although that's probably risky because we'll probably end up getting ourselves a copyright strike for that one as well. And which series of cricket will you stream? It just depends on, I guess, the other channel and what they stream pretty much. Because there's a massive channel that tries to copyright strike smaller YouTube channels. And that's what we had last year, unfortunately, for us. Oh, Cheslin Colby, what's he doing now? He's going to be taking on the shot at the post. This is an interesting choice from South Africa. Like they're saying, it's over 50 metres for Cheslin Colby. Pathetic refereeing. The line-out throw was skew, says Vin there. And also we have got, who would you say this would be the worst match of the day, or who would have said this would be the worst match of the day score-wise? Says Richard, yeah, I guess one of the more one-sided ones, and also hi, who got the red card? It was Peter Stiftatoy, the number 7 for South Africa. Come on, France. Squeeze their balls, says Val. That's the spirit. Squeeze those big South African balls. And Bok need to stop letting themselves down. Positive clean play. Back to basics, and I'm from South Africa, Durban, and I'm a big supporter of the All Black stuff your channel, says Lewin. And also, this could be a match of the day. And what's the worst drubbing? Or what is worst drubbing of South Africa by French? Says Salvatore. Chiselin Colby. Apparently, he's been practicing the kicking, which is good news because last week wasn't exactly nailing too many of them, Colby. But I feel like this week he's going to be a lot more confident. Struck that one not too badly. It's come back round, and it's gone over from Chiselin Colby. So a great strike of the ball. 10 points difference now between the two sides. 13 points to 3 now in this contest. Also, Hamish, you need to Botox his eyelids if he commentates on the cricket, says Stone Cold. And also, has a big team ever played an entire match with a man down before? They have. In the past, we have seen games as early as about 5 minutes into a game get a red card. We saw the Australians do it up against France. Anyone remember rightly, Marika Korombedi after that tackle on Geelongs? That's actually where the challenge for having only a 20-minute red card came in, because they felt that one was the wrong decision. Now, nice run forward from Thomas Ramos. There's just such acceleration in this French backline that makes it scary. Try and stop. Definitely with only 14 men out on the field. Come on the box. Nicely stolen by Eben Etzebeth, though he gets straight through the middle of the big man and does get himself the turnover. Now 26 minutes in. Willie LaRue goes off to the short side. Nice run from Damian Willemse. Gives Mofana a little bit of a slap on the way past. Who's this? Some random person out on the field who's trying to run drinks or trying to check on someone's injury. Now Willie LaRue going off to Jesse Creel now. Chiselin Colby down the wing, close to that touchline's done well to keep himself in the field of play, though. Cycles nicely. It looks like there's an injury, maybe for Bongi or Manambi in the back play, which is not good news. And also can't watch this change the ref is garbage, and South Africa is even worse, very frustrating, says Moonstone. Up to the halfway line now, Eben Etzebeth crashes at the line. They were a bit late with the clean out, but luckily for them, they missed the jackal there for France. Now, Damian Willemse trying to bump off one tackle. Got back to his feet. De Klerk goes off to Chiselin Colby, who almost got eaten accidentally by Eben Etzebeth. Okay, ball available still for South Africa. And it looks like maybe the box kick could be coming. If South Africa can't or must fire Rassie Erasmus, a bad influence for rugby. And then also, they never understood the point system. So I don't know, says Keegan. So that is for the ranking. So it's a bit weird, isn't it, the points? But I know that it's based off if you win by more than 12 or more than 14 or some sort of number like that, you do actually get a little bit of an extra boost. That's a penalty to South Africa on the halfway line. Right, Chiselin Colby, this isn't his distance. We've already learned. Also, generally the best. I think the game flow and understand the interpretation of the breakdown is favour the attacking team. It's commentary talk, right? Faf de Klerk going to be kicking this one for the touchline. Willie LaRue just trying to fire up his side here by the looks of it. Oh, that's a kick and a half from Faf de Klerk. Going to be about 10 minutes out, and this is the perfect opportunity for the Boks to go for their rolling maul. I believe Yui Antonio, it was interesting there because he just kind of left it and let Eben Etzebeth take the ball from him. Now, Bongi Manambi and Chiselin Colby, what a top G. There's Marco Monopola. Oh, okay. Malcolm Marx is now on the field. That is due to Bongi Umbinambi's injury that I mentioned a little bit earlier on. He didn't look too flash, was staying down a bit longer. He's gone off the field. Okay, the match doctor has insisted that Bongi Umbinambi must go for an HIA. So that is why Malcolm Marx is now on the field. But South Africa won't be minding that because he's got one of the best line-out throws accuracy-wise out of anyone in World Rugby. Good defence so far from the France side, but they are now starting to edge slightly sideways. A lot more Springboks getting involved here. trying to stop this one. It's going to be the advantage. Sia Khaleesi skids straight through, and he does score the try to box back in it now, and that will make the score 8 points to 3 in favour of the French. And also, we've got their super try French toasted the block, and also we have got the Hemisphere energy is electrifying. Says Roof, and heck yeah, they did lots of mercy and pardon. Says Mark, although Sia Khaleesi breaks out of this one pretty well indeed. He just kind of breaks through off the side and dives over. He scores himself the try. Game is back on. Always the best commentary. Thanks again. Says Joe Robinson. Also, we have the South Africa back is ridiculous. So are their backs. Says commentary talk. And who said this game is dead? Says Kean. And yeah, I can't believe that they had Springboks as $16 underdogs for this matchup. Like currently now they are $6 underdogs, which I can kind of understand because like they're still down by a little bit, but it's not by a huge margin. And Sacre Bleu after that try says it was commentary talk, and also the game is back on. Says Dragon Stout and looks like 30-10 in 2002 as well. And always the best commentary. Thanks again, says J Roberts. No worries at all. And we have got plenty more coming, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow night we have got the All Blacks when they do take on Scotland. Sometimes 14 men beat 15. Safa are back in it for now, says Brian. Also, we have got their Moonstone. Amazing how your words ring true. Kick is going to be successful from Chisel and Colby here. Yep, got plenty of that one. And that is now going to make the score 10 points for South Africa, 3 for the French down. Watch Cheesy. He's going to win the game. Or I assume that's Chiseling. And also do the bets to just when there's a red card involved, they do. So I believe that is why they were considered so high. But even then, I feel like having them as $14 underdogs or at 15 as they were, it just seemed a little bit too high for the South Africans. A great commentary game as usual, says Aaron. Appreciate you, mate. And I think Jonathan Dunty wasn't able to pass his HIA. And, Quacker Smith has put that one down. They've said that it didn't go forward, though. No, they've said, okay, we can't hear Wayne Barnes. That's why. And what a drop. Now, wait, why did they just jump to the locker room? I think they were trying to show Jonathan Dunty maybe not with the side. And Colby's been practicing with pine cones all week, says Tim Rogers. Like they're saying, an absolute gift of the scrum here for the French. And that is going to be, another injury. Cyril Bailly now going off the field. Everyone is falling like flies at the moment. It seems to be injury after injury after injury. It's almost rolling subs. Right, France got themselves a new number 17. I should mention, if you're wondering why the sleeve is up, it is because from earlier on when I played cricket and I dove, I got a bit of grass burn and it was getting itchy under the jersey, so I've got my sleeve out. Hope that makes sense. And also, Smith was a beast when he played for the Seven Springboks. Great player, says it was commentary talk there. But now it's France. They're going to have a good attacking opportunity here. Dupont going to be feeding the ball. And 32 minutes in already. This game has been absolutely flying forward. And also we have got their Rolling Stones, more like Rolling Subs. And French can be called ball crunchers. Hamish, you crack me up laughing so much. Come on, Eben. Says Ruth. Ball available for the French. And now off the back, Gregory Aldrit hits it hard at Damien Valimza. He's been able to slow him down in the process. Now Dupont goes off the Galficu. Driven backwards. Now Dupont once again. Julien Marchand going off to the left now. Dupont not sure what way to go. So he's going to go himself almost straight through the gap. But a good tackle made by Franco Mostert. Now Julien Marchand once again has the ball. Oh, was that a knock on? Yes, it was from France. And also we have got there a lot of too many French get injured and they don't have the replacements. I guess they just play with less players out there on the field. Which would be an interesting one because then I guess both sides would be playing with the 14 and great refs. And did Fofana a shoulder hit Quagga chin? Not too sure. Might have missed that one. Where are we looking? No, it's not there. I think it was earlier on, wasn't it? And the strength of these South African French guys says a Dragons out. Yeah, they're certainly solid. That is for sure. A scrum feed. Going to be in favour of the South Africans. The thing is, they're not out of this game. 3 points is nothing. and a game of rugby. That's just a successful kick, and then you are back into the contest. All fed in for South Africa. Now another big push. They've got the advantage again. Going off to the short side. It is going to be kicked downfield from Faf de Klerk. And that's a great kick, but it's going right back actually for the penalty and also heading to bed after the same as says Olivia. That is the plan. Although first we will be scheduling our live stream taking place between New Zealand and Scotland. And then after that, it is going to be, the bedtime for myself up until, I'm not sure what time I'm going to be getting up. It's either going to be in the evening tonight or maybe like the late evening, an hour or two before the next matchup that we do cover on the channel. And yellow card for all the yawning. Yeah, I think I need one, don't I? And also, I think they're waiting to do is HIA. Someone else is in the room, says Kian. And quite a drop ball from the kickoff, says Nate. Oh, we got 2 balls now. Faf de Klerk decides he only needs 1. 5 minutes left in this first half, and he will be kicking this one now into touch. And Faf is doing well, nicely, or behaving nicely. Eben, it's good workhorse for the box. And I think the big thing for Faf was he gave away that early penalty, but then from there, he's kind of found himself into the game, if that makes sense. He's kind of found his feet rather than going for it super aggressive every single time. If injuries keep happening, it'll be queuing at the medic's door. And also we have got there, Amish should swear a tumbler of whiskey. And look at that camera for good times. I think Suntory Times says commentary talk. And also South Africa not backing down, says Mr. Fantastic, nicely thrown in. Franco Mostert takes it well and does manage to get himself down to the turf now. So then just inside of the half of France. A lot of calling going on out there on the field, but it's another yellow card, isn't it? Oh, Talfifanua didn't make the tackle. That was actually the replacement for Flamont, who was one of the other players who got taken off the field. But Sekou Makalu takes that one very nicely. I think he managed to call the mark, Sekou Makalu. Jeslyn Colby not too happy with that one. The tap kick taken, and it's gone into touch. Damien Valimza takes it quickly, fires it straight across to Villy Leroux. Now one more short to Damien Valimza on the short side. Just manages to roll straight back up into the French hands, and Thomas Ramos tries to kick it over the head of Villy Leroux, who was back once again to be able to cover. Now might consider going for the 50-22, or instead Curly Arinsa tries to go through. This has just been sensational defense from France. That was tackling a man without the ball. Or at least I thought it was anyway. Now Valimza. Charging hard. Talfifanua makes the tackle on him. Damien Dialende receives that pass relatively quickly and keeps it alive for the Boxers. They move up to now about 5 phases. Faf de Klerk gives it the kick downfield. And great take from Mac, who was dragged down by Arinsa. And also, do you think France will win to save our ears from a week of bot complaints? Says Hanoi. I mean, it's going to be a tough one. Definitely for South Africa with the man disadvantage for the rest of this contest. Although the benefit that they've got is the fact that France have lost so many players already due to injury. So it means that maybe later on in the game, they might still have that little bit of extra stamina. And also yellow card for every yawn, says Brett. I think that's why I tried so hard not to yawn there. Barnes' mic sounds weird as hell. Yeah, it's not quite attached the way it's supposed to, is it? Nice run from Damien Dialende. Driven into touch though by Sekou Makalu. And they considered going quickly there, France, but they decided against it in the end. I used to rugby ref rugby. And the Westpac chatters were always the Saffers so confrontational. I guess it's culture to be upfront. Nonetheless, the Poms were chronic whingers, however. And also, are we keeping you up, Amish? This Peter stays. And it's not so much that. It's just more of the case of I have been up for about 27 hours now. And throughout that time, we have covered, I think, about 12 hours of sport and also played a match of cricket down at the local cricket ground. So, yeah, just a bit of a busy day. But we're still here. We're still rocking and rolling for the final match of the day. Thrown long, taken nicely by, that was Anthony Geelong. Now Dupont goes across. Mofana takes a bit of heavy contact there. Now Dupont once again gives it away. Fiku looks for the offload. Thomas Ramos has to clean it up. wrestle backwards a little bit further. Currently only 1 minute left here in the second half. Or sorry, in the first half, 27 hours at a cricket match. Yowza, says Cited. Yeah, I feel like it probably wasn't the best strategy, if I'm being honest. But we're doing okay for now. Penalty goes the way of France. They will more than likely take the 3 here. Gareth, is that a French cock or a turkey? Xmas is just around the corner. Box seemed to have got a shot to jolt them into action. And Box and man down balances the game out, but still favours the Box to cover the 6. Says Aaron Daly. That wasn't a yawn. I was just yelling at my hand quietly. So we're all right for that one. That one didn't count. Yeah, straight over the ball. Unfortunately, Franco Mostert not able to roll away there. And also we have got there, don't forget to get some sleep or some good sleep when you're done. Your body will thank you afterwards, says Cited. So yeah, I think after this live stream, I'll probably end up getting to sleep by about 12 and then seeing how we go from there, whether or not we sleep a little bit longer or whether we do go a little bit further back. And also Brett has said, yeah, right. I assume that it's yeah, right, as in like that I haven't been up for 27 hours. But, oh no, unless that's the yawn, maybe. Well, not a yawn, sorry, the yelling at the hand thing. Also, we have got there, good to see Barnes penalise the players falling on the wrong side. Mostert says Hanoi there. Now that's going to be kicked long and over. Once again, well done from Ramos. His accuracy has been very strong throughout this matchup, and that is now going to make the score 16 points to 10. And that's half-time, says Key. And so the two sides, hardly a point to split them, 6 to be exact. TikTok, one of those sponsors for this game. I saw the TikTok logo on the rugby ball. Yeah, I think they do sponsor the Autumn Internationals. And who scored for South Africa, says Luke. So we have just seen the one try for the South Africans. And it was Sia Khaleesi, the captain, who was able to get himself the try. And French Rooster is getting bigger now, says Gareth. And also nice kick, says Cited. And then also we have got there, that's halftime. And then I should also mention the try scorer for France. In the end, who was it? Who scored the try? I saw him as well, but now I've forgotten. Cyril Bay was one of the try scorers anyway, and also, actually the only try scorer. And also we have got there, just taking the piss. You're doing a good job, says Brett there. And also, what time is New Zealand versus Scotland? Is it today? So it is going to be pretty much in about 16 hours time, somewhere around there. It is a 3:15 a.m. kickoff, I believe. And also, this is not a free-flowing pretty game, is it? You need some chamomile tea, Hamish, says Ruth. And also, we have got there to pick one match of your YouTube live journey where you enjoyed the most, says Coding. I mean, probably any of the live streams that I've done with someone, whether that is George, whether that is Isaac, whether that's my mum or my dad. Like, I feel like those are always the ones that are the most fun. Like me, George, and Isaac had a blast of a time doing Super Rugby Aotearoa in about 2021 for the final. That was a lot of fun. Whereas, like the Women's World Cup, I've enjoyed doing it a lot because I've got to do every single match with my mum. And New Zealand, they did pretty well in that competition as well. So that was always a nice bonus. And also we have got there going to be half of South Africa being a man down all game, says LB, and Hamish will sleep well after this game, says Dragon Stout. Yeah, the toughest part's going to be trying to make it to my bed to be able to sleep. I'll probably just fall asleep on this chair. That would not be good for posture, though, so I will have to make it to my bedroom. And also box change rooms are organised. Every cubicle has water and ice, says Hanoi. And also the most hours you've been up for in your life, says Luke, probably around that 30 or 32-hour mark, something along those lines. Not a huge amount compared to what I am now. Like, that's only an extra 5 hours compared to what I'm sitting at currently. But yeah, normally YouTube is actually a part of that. So yeah, it's a little bit of a weird one. Sometimes you can find yourself being up for a long, long time just because of the way that the schedule works out. You don't really get those breaks that you would be after normally. And also Rassie's master plan and play with a man down, then win in the last minute. You never know with Rassie these days, says Cited. And also Hamish and Adesanya will sleep at the same time. Ooh. Stan Pereira is going to be able to get himself the win. Your mum and dad are good fun. Your dad has the same emotions during the game like myself, says Aaron, and also France kick a lot, says Sabello. And also we have got there, Gareth, you're a hysterical man. It's not a complete cock-up. Somebody needs a moment of brilliance in there And also we have got there for these long stints set up in Ivy, says Brett. And you sound refreshed compared to the Wales game, says Ken. I feel like that Wales game, though, that one really drained me for a bit because there was not a lot happening throughout that contest. And also you must have coffee and an IV drip. Keep going. Says at Mountains of Asylum. And also, who do you think got the man of the match? Or is it too early? I mean, we've seen some pretty good play from a couple of the French forwards, I would say. Like Charles Olivon, he's been pretty good at stealing the ball in the line-out, but still with another half to go. I think it might be just that little bit too early to be able to decide. And we play more like the French than the French are, says EZ there. EZ, I should say. And also not a bad half. To be fair, much better than what we got out of the Wales and Argentina game, says Ken. So currently, South Africa being 6 points down, they are actually sitting as $7.50 underdogs. Coffee or tea, says Luke. I actually have never tried either, believe it or not. I only really drink water and like different other stuff that's not tea or coffee. We playing on I read that one. And also Rassie's halftime talk, just him showing his own TikTok video analysis. Says cited, and also we have good there. From which country would you say most of your fans are from? I believe majority of our audience, I think our highest demographic is actually South Africa. And Olivon jumps across at the line out. Says Eric there. But I guess if the referee is not going to ping him for it, he's going to keep on doing it if it is an effective weapon for them to be able to get that ball back. But yeah, I would say probably South Africa at the most, and then maybe one of the other, maybe Pacific Islands or New Zealand would be our next one overall in the rankings and whatnot. And also that first 14 versus 15 man scrum was amazing, says Easy Rolly. And also, oh no, I read that one about Olivon. But yeah, it will be interesting to see exactly who walks away from this game the victor, because South Africa have got the foundation. They've played better in this game than they did up against the Irish, but it's still that question of what do they do once they get the opportunities? And also, when do you decide to go to your bench? Also, what made you think of doing YouTube, mate? Says Luke, I think we were just bored one day. To be honest, like, that's the thing. For the 20,000 subscribers special, we are actually going to do a reaction to a whole heap of old Kiwi lad videos. And this is going to be like 2017 lads. And it was pretty much just we'd play a game and we'd just film ourselves playing it. And then from there, you know, upload it on a YouTube channel. I think it was actually this one that we used to upload them on. But then from there just kind of became rugby based and then commentary based. And then from there we're here, I guess. Average, as you always do, rocking it from morning till night. You should be a radio DJ, says Ruth. That is an idea. I do a lot of talking, and they also do quite a bit of talking, don't they? And also we have got there, what is wrong with Fuff? Says Gert. He had one good moment in that first half, but other than that, he hasn't been tremendous. I guess you could say I have a feeling the Boks have practiced scrummaging with a man down in each position, says Saiton, and also thanks, says Mark in the chat as well. But they are just showing some highlights of okay. So the commentators are saying that Peter Steptoe's clean out, they don't think it was cynical, but it looked pretty bad. And that is why he ended up with the red card in the first half. And Fuff and Bongi aren't the same. Says Sunsalo. Bongi on Manambi's actually been taken off for an HIA, which now means Malcolm Marks now out on the field. And also great to see Azuri Pip, the Aussies, well, says Brett. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. See that Italy have come such a long way in such a short amount of time. South Africa hang in until the 60th minute mark. The pressure will get too much for France. And also they have played nowhere near the way they played first 30 minutes against Ireland. And also Farfus having a good hair day, says Ruth. And also Springboks is strong, but they need to finish off and score from Adrian. So I guess purity at the moment, a little bit in favour of South Africa. Well, sorry, position in favour of South Africa, but territory actually in favour of France. We've seen one try scored per piece. Couple lost lineouts there for the South Africans. In fact, 3 to be exact. And they've actually had 12 lineout throws rather than the 3 that we've seen of France. Tackles made 63 by France, 47 by South Africa, and the tackles missed, 7 South African missed tackles compared to the 11 of the French as well. Peter Steph now suffering from PTSD, says cited. And also we have got there, what would happen if Italy beat the Springboks next week? I think there would be a lot of angry people, but you just never know what's possible. I mean, from what we've seen in the Italy games the last couple of weeks, like they've come a long way, like I mentioned. And yeah, Gini got 10 in the bin in England versus England in the league, but let go of Burgess. A penalty was enough without a sin bin, given the material outcome. Refs got to use their heads. Yeah, he did put him down quite lightly. And yes, he was tipped above the horizontal, but the fact that he was put down so gently probably could have meant that you could just get away with the penalty. But now he's on report as well, so he might end up getting something more serious, maybe a week ban. We'll have to miss out on the final. And the red card was fair. I know it as soon as I saw it, it says easy. Yeah. Unfortunately for Peter Steph, there wasn't really too much that was in his favour for that tackle. And also what would happen, Italy beat New Zealand one day. I would be pretty happy for Italy. And also if Italy beat the box table, mountain will explode, says cited. Sorry about me crouching down, ladies and gentlemen. I am getting comfy on this chair while we are at halftime, and we'll be sitting back up in a short moment, though. And also morning, Hamish says, David, well, welcome in, mate. I hope you are doing very well. Hope you are excited for All Blacks versus Scotland tomorrow night. It'll be a big game. Also, the second half of this game is going to be a relatively close one. By the looks of the boxers, inconsistent. They sure know how to win World Cups, says Stone Cold. And that's why this game is so important in a way. Because if they can win this, that gives them the confidence that they can win on French soil. And going into that World Cup is going to be massive for South Africa if they already know, like, we have played here and we've won before. Never mind the jokes about your tiredness, Hamish. You could rock this commentary while sleeping, no problem, says Ruth. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, if we had about 2 or 3 more live streams, I think by the end we would have actually been doing commentary while we were half asleep in the Scots, says David the Mod. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, they go. And also Rassi think 14 gets 15 is fair, but only when it's the box that's down, says cited. And also our last World Cup run was in France, says Ezroli. And there as well. And also the unknown factor in all of this is the ABs versus Les Bleus. Yeah, I guess looking at the previous results, France got themselves the last win, but we're going to get to see it in the Rugby World Cup. I believe it's going to be 300 days or so till we get to see it. And also run equals win, says Easy as well. We're getting advertisements for currently documentaries here in New Zealand. How do you feel about TJ enjoying the All Blacks for this weekend? I feel like Brad Weber's a little bit hard done by. Well, I guess they're trying to build that depth and give everyone a fair opportunity to have a chance in that lineup, and not the Northern Hemisphere teams are picking too early again, says Philemoni. And also having the one-up on the opponent is a big psychological advantage, big for France to win versus the current world champs. England did that did that in New Zealand for winning their World Cup back in 2003, 2004. And second half, we will see Chisel and Colby taking over the kicking duty. He's actually been kicking all of the first half. So I guess he will continue with the kicking. And also we have got there, do you think Scotland could pull off or could upset the ABs given the ABs' current form? There's always a chance. I think the thing is, the more that we've seen rugby each and every week of the autumn internationals, like, there's certainly a chance. And at Murrayfield, I want to say they'll get close. I'd say the All Blacks won't win it by as much as people think they will, but it should still be a very good competition between the two sides. And some people that just can't accept Northern Hemisphere is superior, JKs, says Kean. And France is New Zealand's bogey team, as well as the Irish, says David. And it's interesting how this game will change. The box structure is definitely disrupted. Now they have to adapt their play against a very good, enterprising French outfit, says cited. Because France, at the moment, they've had some very nice backline movements, whereas we haven't really seen too many chances for the South Africans to get that going as well. As an Irishman, I will never get carried away with this team or with this time of year. Hopefully, we have learned from previous mistakes. I fully expect ABs in South Africa to be at the scene of the crime at the World Cup, says Aaron. And Murrayfield as the driving rain, in the driving rain was a nightmare. Now with climate change, Scots lose a lot of home advantage, says Commentary Talks Man. Just watching trailers at the moment on the screen for us here in New Zealand. I assume we must only be like 2 minutes away maximum from the next half getting underway. The world champions must prove they are the champions. And who you got for Will Jordan versus Chisholm and Colby, says Luke. It's been so long since have we even seen that combination now that I think about it? Depends on what you're talking. If you're talking defence or if you're talking attack, they will be slightly different. And also we have their French team even get fresh jerseys at halftime, said Gareth. And if the other French defender came and held up, protected Etzebeth from a head injury, would he have got penalised, says Hanoi. It's always a tricky one, definitely when there are players who go almost above the horizontal. Like if he had kept on tipping him, I assume there would have been something a little bit more serious. But up until, I guess he lands, they do consider it as fair game in a weird way. The French probably wear Coco Chanel designer shirts, says Commentary Talk, and also speaking on Irish, who day they actually have, who can be on Sexton's level when he retires, says Ken. It's a tough one because there are really only the young guys coming up through the rankings now for them. So you got Carberry, you got Byrne, you got Frawley. Or is it Crawley? One of the two. I think it's Frawley. But, there's a big gap for them. And also we have the ABs will demolish the Scots, says Brent. But that is about to be kicked off now for the second half of this contest. We are at the Vélodrome. The orange one as well they have got. It's going to be kicked off along into the 22. And now France will be looking to attack it back. Nice big run from Aldrip, but tackled hard by Oxnachet. And far out the barbecue, it's either French, Cook, or Deadbock, says Gareth. Kick downfield, and that one has gone into touch. Decent clearing kick from France, and that will take them back down to the halfway line. And come on, Faf, score a try, shut those doubters up. Gives the word headbang as a meaning. The Clash, wonderful British punk and rock group. I must admit the Northern Hemisphere teams are more focused these days since they're in the mod. Yeah, the competition seems like it's really been narrowed down a little bit more, how anyone can win any given day. Relatively, within reason, of course. And Willemse should get a license to be more enterprising for the rest of the game. There's a bunch of talent, but he's not showing it right now. There's Saita, nicely taken by Eben Etzebeth, thrown in by Bongi Omnambi. That was a big yawn. We will lean forward a little bit. Now 39 minutes left in the game. Faf de Klerk puts up the box kick. Taking it down just outside of the 22. Seku Makaluha hard in the spine by Sia Khaleesi. A little bit of a counter ruck there from South Africa, who win themselves the penalty. Right, they've got the option of the 3 if they want it, or they can go for the corner. That's the big decision to make. If you were the South Africa coach, who would you pick for your backline and for your 21, 22, and 23 against England, says Luke. So I'd probably go relatively similar to what they've got here, just with the squad that they have actually got. Although I might consider going Lebok at 10 and Damien Willemse at 15. Might be my other choice. Why would Sunny Bull call out Mark Hunt? Welcome back to Earth Sunny, says Badgoy, and also Live Rugby, says Dion. And there as well, Chisholm Colby with a nice attacking run initially. Manages to bump off Anthony Geelong. There's Steph Toys still on the touchline. Not too happy. He's sitting alongside Makazole Mapimbi. He's had his red card earlier on in the matchup. And also Colby bumped off the second rower. Says, no, he certainly did. Now Chisholm Colby, he will be lining up this kick for the South Africans. The yawns are starting to kick in. I feel like it's this 28th hour of being awake that's now hitting me. That's all right. Chisholm Colby taking his time, making sure that he does have the angle of this one right. And also, we just joined other 16 points from penalty goals. And also, we did see one try scored by Cyril Bay. So he hasn't done too badly. And also the one try scored by South Africa by Sia Khaleesi, but that kick has gone over. And that is going to make the score now 16 points to 13. This is going to be an interesting finish to the game. I can already tell it's going to be quite close going down to the wire. Kicked off by Romain Intermac. It's down almost stolen by Sekou Makalu, but taken down nicely, and Colby getting more and more confident with his kicking. And it's a full. Whoever underestimates the French, they're the rugby powerhouse, don't stop. Or full stop, says David. Charge down, Fuff de Klerk. Let's get that ball into touch, but it probably didn't go anywhere near as far as he would have liked it to. So South Africa currently sitting $5 underdogs for anyone wondering about that, and France sitting $1.18. Also, the French are Mercurial, is it? You never know which team will turn up, nor do the French. Says commentary talking. Also, we have got the Intermac well. Says David Modern. Also, are you at the MMT parade, Mark Roberts? And thanks for this. But you are quite hard to understand. PS 28 hours awake. Fair play. I did that once for hiking as well in the Rockies, says Steph. So I think I'm slurring a few of my words, to be honest. It's got a little bit worse for myself since being awake for so long, but I do appreciate your being here, Steve. We also got a donation from France. Let's have a Bevan Mason or Manson. Just broke the 24-hour download single surf ski record, 227.4 kilometers. And for 300 kilometers, it would appreciate a bed even more than you, Hamish. Thanks for being the equivalent of Gerard Vivas, says Franz Smith. Thank you very much, mate, for that donation. Hugely appreciate it. At the moment, the rolling maul of France is looking dangerous when they get it moving, but until they get it moving, it just looks like the Springboks have got it relatively covered. And also, we have got the next time you have your friend as your co-commentator, why can't you do it as open all hours? You could be Orkwright, and your friend could be Granville. And I think the only thing with that is with George, he does normally work during the day and then sometimes to the kind of late evening, so it makes it tricky. We haven't even been able to film a couple of videos this week, but we're hoping next week to be able to get a lot more filming done, so perhaps we can get something going on a stream. I know he'd be keen to do a gaming stream at some point, and I'm also a little drunk, thanks, man. Says Steve, that one's gone over. And that's now going to make the score 19 points to 13, back in favour of France. And Chips and Burger, says Nate. And also Arkwright says it was there from David. Also, 36 more minutes to go, mate, says Homie in there. I feel like we're gonna do all right. We're gonna get through it. We had to play guitar at halftime on our last live stream just to try and wake our brain up a little bit more. Will Peter Steph Toy likely to get a few weeks suspension? I think he'll probably get 1 or 2. Actually, no, it's normally 3, isn't it? So I think he'll get 3 because it was cynical at the end of the day. Even if he didn't want it to be cynical, it was. And also, France aren't who everyone thinks they are. Says Champagne Lord, and what's your favourite meal? I mean, sometimes it's just a nice, good old-fashioned chips, you know? And you get George to do Switch Sports, says Gareth. Yeah, so I guess I should mention anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button over on the Kiwi Lads Entertainment channel. I will get you the link, just the one that me and George have been uploading on relatively recently. A couple of big videos coming up on that channel as well. So we will go like that, and we will go like that. Anyone who does want to check out the gaming, only if you do enjoy gaming, of course. You don't have to if you do not enjoy a bit of gaming or something. Now it's going to be kicked high. Now Ramos unable to take it cleanly. And France, it's going to be the penalty to South Africa. Again, taking a quick tap there. Fuff de Klerk starts to accelerate, but Dupont able to wrestle him down. That's the first time really we have seen those two go ahead there. Damien Deolende, short ball to Villy Leroux. They continue to drive here for the Springboks. They look off to the right-hand side. Now de Klerk goes for the cross jack. Jezelyn Colby, he's broken his neck, or he's landed extremely awkwardly. And he will be staying down for a little while. It reminded me of the Kurtley Arinsu one that he did on Bowden Barrett. And now they're going to have a check of this one. see what the end call is going to be flying here, but it's definitely on the higher end of suspension, says Tony. And also, when it's a Scotland game, it is going to be tomorrow night that it is taking place at 3:30 a.m., I believe it is. But Cheslin Colby, they just want to make sure that he is all right, but they will be checking upstairs. Dupont tackled out up Etzebeth in the 11th half. And damn, Colby did a Bodie. He did. Oh, not in a position to contest the ball. I think Dupont's going to get a red card here. And he's probably going to end up with a suspension as well. Visa card coming out for sure. Okay, Dupont is going to end up with the red card. And now we're going to have two sides with 14 on 14, ladies and gentlemen. And come on, the Springbokker. Says Marco Vanapola, and also tomorrow morning, Ed. But yeah, will be a 3:30 a.m. game. So South Africa now $4.40 underdogs in this contest. But Antoine Dupont, he'll be disappointed with that. Now, meaning that his side are going to be a little bit further towards the even mark, I guess I should say as well. And also, I thought he was doing pointers. And also, Captain Sear needs to hit the charge for the try line. Come on the box, says Ruth. And game over, South Africa wins, says Aaron. Oh, okay. South Africa now down to $2.50 underdogs. And this match, I thought he was doing pointers. And also, we have the Colby GNA. I have to leave the field for that. So he decided, yeah, I would think he has to do some sort of test to make sure that he is going to be all right to continue. And also, I like George's command of the English language and how colourful he makes it. Says David, yeah, he knows all the special words, doesn't he? Or George, or the offensive words, I guess I should say as well. But now the Springboks believe they're going to be kicking this one for the touchline here. I've decided they might as well have a crack at the corner, but Cheslin Colby, I don't believe he will be doing the goal kicking for a little bit of time while they wait for him to come back out onto the field. Box of $2.30, and also when are they playing is at Paris, or where are they playing is at Paris, I believe, or it's called the Orange Velodrome, if you know whereabouts that is, but I'm not too sure whereabouts that actually is in terms of the French location. Dupont red, I feel good for us and bad for him, says DJ there. I see taken by Eben Etzebeth. And now Mbanambi tries to get the rolling ball going. 7 entry is actually the penalty that they've given it for. No good for Dupont to miss New Zealand test. Says Hanoi, and also we have got there Lauren Marocil. Hopefully I said that correctly. This is turning into a rugby league game with all these red cards, says David the Mod. Also box of $2.30. I'm back in 1986 at the World Cup. At halftime, I was going to talk to John Edshed, but he was asleep. And I was saying, or we were actually talking earlier on, me, a couple of people in the chat, we were saying I've never had a live stream that I've fallen asleep on yet, and I don't intend to start now. So that's the goal. 30 minutes left, total penalties conceded. Seen quite a few from France. A little bit less from South Africa as well, but now 5 meters out from the line. Throwing it in, nicely taken by Kwaka Smith. And now Tofa Fanua, he got straight over that ball, but wasn't able to rip it away there cleanly. It will be instead back available for South Africa. They've got themselves the advantage as well. Was it knocked down deliberately? It might have been. Also, France might not miss the New Zealand game. On a bit of push and shove out there between France and South Africa. And I mean, Dupont won't miss New Zealand game. Depends on how long his game ban is. So I believe Arinsa had his knocked down to 3 weeks. But I believe it started as 6. And how many yawns for a red card? I feel like it's got to be at least 50, doesn't it? I feel like I'm not doing too bad overall for the yawning department. Vincent Koch now making his way out onto the field. Same with Malcolm Marx. And Stephen Kitsoff. I've been to Paris. A bit untidy, says David. And also, how's Colby? He looks like he's still not out on the field yet. He had to go off for the HIA, but he was walking by himself, which is a big help. And any man that took 19 plus, Evans, I salute you, says Aaron. And also, the Boks have a new confidence now. And where's old mate Nazi Williams gone, Mo? Big feet and noodles, says Nathan. Now close to the line. Malcolm Marx driven down short of the line. Sekou Makalu almost got that turnover. Now Kitsoff. Hits it at the line again. First carry of the match for him. Now Vincent Koch. Close. South Africa, they are only one try or one little move away. Curly Arendse. Was he in touch? I don't think he was, but they may consider just checking that one to see if his foot did slightly creep over the touch on the Spicy Plum. As on with Mr. Incredible says cited. And Boks have a new confidence now. They certainly do. And they are coming in now as favourites in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. So that is how quickly times can change. Yeah, by about a metre he was in for that one. Be careful to stretch. Don't pull the muscle, says Nelson. I think that is already, unfortunately, something that's passed. I pulled a lot of muscles while playing cricket yesterday because I hadn't used them all. It's been on Amish. He is briefly, I think he was on for Wales versus Argentina while we were playing songs on the guitar at halftime. But yeah, we have had a few of the regulars tuning in, although only a few of you have listened to the guitar. Probably lucky in that regard. But now Faf de Klerk going to be lining up this kick, something that we don't see too often. Oh, he's got that beautiful Faf de Klerk. That is a class kick and a half. And now South Africa, they are going to be taking the lead for this matchup. 20 points to 19. What did DuPont exactly do? So pretty much he didn't go up for the ball in the proper way that you're supposed to. So he ended up coming in, cleaning up Cheslin Colby, and Cheslin Colby landed on his head. So that is why it was a red card and great stuff. South Africa says Shaylee there, and also French just keeping their noses in front. Have you got a comfy duvet, Amish Yankees? Might have a spear for you. You won't even dream. Too tired, bless you, says Ruth. And there's like, oh, nah, I should be all right. I'm going to be waking up at some stage tomorrow night, or tonight, I should say, and then we will be all ready to go for New Zealand versus Scotland. A big fan of Sekou Makalu. What a beast of a man, Silverback Gorilla in human form, says Marco Vonapolo. Oh, Kwaka Smith has another little bit of a juggle there, but he has been able to just hang on to it. I missed the guitar, says Anoi. And there as well. But Luthu also out on the field. That is for Gregory Aldrit. The Marseille crowd trying to get in behind their team. That one's gone into touch. They won't be in any hurry to take this one. I believe they have still got Julien Marchand out there on the field. And also Fafi Beauty. They're from Sighted. And also we have got their Spicy Plumbers coming to Ulster next season. Says Aaron. And tomorrow, any matches you are covering. So we are going to be doing the New Zealand versus Scotland game at about 3:30 a.m. New Zealand time. And then other than that, I believe that is the only game that we have got that we will be doing for tomorrow. I feel like my eyes are starting to try and go cross-eyed, which isn't ideal. Makes it harder to see the line out, but we've seen that is a very good take from Cameron Walkie there. Might be injured in the process. And keep up the good work. Great ball for ball commentating, says Nelson. Do appreciate that a lot, mate. Now Taufafanua, I should say. As that ball, Khaleesi makes the tackle on Marchand. In through the side. South Africa have been able to get themselves the turnover, though. Now Malcolm Marks wants the offload to Stephen Kitsoff, who didn't go for the offload himself. Instead, just decided to take the contact. Now Kwaka Smith goes to Vincent Koch. And also, where did de Klerk kick from? He kicked it from almost the touchline. You guys are now looking tired, says Cutting in as the dietitian there to comfort Colby. Says Hanoi, maybe. And also, while these French players keep on and off, says Alta, and also great Faf. And where did... Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? And Faf is showing his talent now, making some good moves. And got the box, says Ed Smith. Hey, we had another 2-hour live stream after this one. Don't know whether or not we would have got through it. I think I want to have another look at this one. So France are currently $3.20 underdogs. You probably feel like me watching Southern Hemisphere games down with a beer, 6 a.m. and with a bowl of porridge, says Step. And also we were the South African flags as well. But yeah, I believe I get to wake up when it's dark tomorrow, which is quite exciting. And since when did Faf de Klerk kick? Says DJ, I don't know, but he kicked it all right. So maybe he's an option that they should look at possibly in the future. Still 25 minutes left on the clock. He's going to be trying to line up this one. Give South Africa just a little bit more of a lead. Where's this one from? This is from about 42 meters straight out in front of the post. So as long as he's got that accuracy, because he had that quite natural curve off the last one. But if he can get that right, that is where he is dangerous. Great job from Faf de Klerk. He's got that one over, and that is going to be now 23 points to 6. Oh, sorry, 23 points to 19, I should say. And this one, and also it's over, missed the start of the second half. How did the Boks get to 20? Says Richard. So we did see the try from, it would have been Sirobai. And then other than that, they have been all penalties. So I believe they've had a total of 4 penalties that they have been able to convert. And also how the game has changed. Exactly right. South Africa now find themselves as favourites for this match. Faf de Klerk back into the pocket. Goes to Damian Valimza. It's gone into touch. It wasn't the biggest kick that we have seen ever from Damian Valimza, and also Supernatural International, Shaylee. And also we have got there, well, I think South Africa 12 for 1 at some stage against the poor man's island, says Aaron Daly. A line-out throw here for South Africa, and also come on Les Bleus, come on Les Boca. And there's my eyes are getting heavy. I'm going to have to lean forward. Now, nicely taken at the back for Anthony Geelong, who now finds himself sitting at number 8 for this contest. The pants have gone down of Yui Antonio, but they are still in a very good position on the field. Lufu goes off to the side. There is space on the outside. Just took a little bit too long for Romain Intermac to be drawn out or try and get that ball through. South Africa now $1.66. These hunts for coins. Now another offload. Mofana. Ball on the outside. Lithu. Now Charles Olivon tries to go through there again. On golden French chips. And if South Africa win, will they be number 1 or number 2, says DJ. I believe number 2, I want to say, with their loss last week. But I could be wrong there. Go the Box, says RG, sorry, I should say. And a yellow card soon for the defenders. And these guys stink Box. Says Mako Vunapola. It's going to be going back for the initial penalty. Yellow card suit for the defenders, and also why not in the Grand Tour? Why not Clarkson, Hammond, and May play baseball button cars? Says, well, I mean, it's an interesting idea. You could try and pitch it to someone, see if they would pick you up for it. I feel like I'm getting too comfy on this seat now. It's a good one. It's unfortunate. Also, we have got their like hot photo. My sister says 69 life. Interesting. Just get rid of that very quickly. Now, France, they are willing to take on the 3 points here. But I really want France to win. And also, you must be really drenched, bro. You might go in and call me Richard. Did I? Sorry. I feel like I'm going into autopilot at the moment. I should mention to anyone who is wondering why I look like I am half asleep. It's pretty much because we did start our first commentary yesterday morning at around 7:30 a.m. We have then been awake for the next about 28 hours. And throughout that time, we have completed around 12 hours of live streaming. So the body's starting to feel it a little bit. Hence why my eyeballs, every once in a while, I'm kind of sitting here like this, just trying to keep them open. But that kick's going over, 22 points to 23 now in favour of the South Africans. Now, Pieto Malvaka, he has made his way out onto the field, and let's go Alta, says Nate there. And just as you think the game has flipped on its head, France closed the game. A good job, says Hunts for Coin, and I can smell the bock on the sausage. Is that a sausage? I really want France to win, says Sinks there. You deserve a good nap, dude, says Nuno. So, yeah, that will be coming a little bit later on in the morning, I would think. Now, Kurtley Arendse able to tie up the ankle. As Charles Olivon Reinach on the field. Now that it's for Faf de Klerk, and Dion Fourie has made his way out there onto the field. And that was for Waka Smith. Also, alles le bloc, or alles le book, says Marco. And I was like, well, B, says Alter. That one's gone into touch, but Mouchon going off the field for Malwaka, like I mentioned, that is one of the subs that the French have decided to make. They've actually had to make a couple forced changes. That is due to the injuries that they have for themselves. Okay, they are asking a lot of questions on commentary at the moment, whether or not they can win without Dupont South Africa too strong. Another try for the Boks, please, and also I take a couple years out of the next week's game as well. I would assume so with that way that he landed on the back of his head, but it's just hard to tell sometimes. You know, he might be all right. Oh, here's Demba Bumba. As he injured skirt, says Marco. He's a big player to have, but unfortunately France, they don't seem to have him for this match. So maybe he is injured. I'll hold him back. Bok, says RG. Gets off another carry forward. Ranak goes back to Mostert. Interesting game, says Ed. It's been a very interesting one. Back and forth between the two sides. Dion Forey. I'll rip it out of the hands of Geelong. Now am I. Willie LaRue goes across here now. Cut out pass. Curtly Arons gets close. I think he's been wrestled into touch though there. That's nice work from Seku Makalu. And also we have got there, you are a consummate professional, mate, says David the Mod. Yeah. Currently 18 minutes left. I'll be honest, the second half's got a lot slower than the first, but that is because I feel like my eyeballs are trying to close, but I will not let them. In fact, last time when they were almost closing, I played the guitar and that woke me up. So we're going to do the South African national anthem again, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Surely that wakes us up. That was quite speedy as well. That's going to be the penalty to the Springboks. That'll make them very happy. The man of the match, Fuff. And now Lorenzo is like a bloody mosquito. So quick says sighted. And outplay the box, says Adrian, and Oosh the guitar, says Nazi Williams. Right. Willie LaRue, I think they are going to be taking on the 3 points now. And I think it's Damian Valimza who's going for it. And that is because they have lost all of their other kickers pretty much at this point of the match. And heck yeah, that's great. Everyone wants to go for Le Bleu, says Mark. Oh. Okay. So I think the French crowd have seen a little bit of some footwork from Kurtley Arinze, and not the normal footwork, some kind of trying to foot trip the man. But because the tackle's completed, apparently he is allowed to. And also, if you're going to stick out the next game as well, you better sniff some chili powder, brother. And where is it on the field? So Damian Valimza from about 45 out on the angle on the right-hand side of the field. And also come on the box, says RG. And also, how was that a tackle? Says Gareth there. And also, we have got there come on the box, says RG. Damian Valimza. This is such an important kick as well. The fact that he has not taken a kick up till this point in the match and now has to try and line one up that might give them enough points to be able to go on and win the contest. He has struck it nicely. Damian Valimza straight down the middle, and that's going to make the score now 26 points to 22. I'm under the kind of powder, 24 hours. Come on, mate. Says Nazi Williams, so heartfelt and wholesome aim as you've been given Safa citizenship. Now after that, says Marco. And he got it through, says DJ. He did indeed. And also River's doing just great, says Ruth. And Pharrell and Damo got his boots on, says cited there. So France are now $4.50 underdogs. And thank you for the live stream from Samoa, says Pauletta, then no worries at all. And also some of those rolling more cocaine, you mean? Says Marco Vodapolo, of course, a reference to the Women's World Cup final. And what a game for the Boks, says DJ. Yeah, the fact that they were down by so many and then they have been able to fight back the way that they have. Ball's gone high. Nicely taken by Kurtley Arinze. Now goes to Sia Khaleesi. Reinach. Receives it again. Dion Forey. Cross check from Willie LaRue. It's just going to go down in front of Makazole Mapimpi, who wasn't quite able to take it cleanly. And also come on the block. We have to win. And well done, Damo, says Aaron. Curtly Ardense. He did well to win that aerial battle between the two sides. Marcus Only just not quite able to hang on to it. And Honky Tonk Man has left the building. Says Stephen, one more try for this game. And punt of the day yesterday, Cocaine touches the white line. Says Nuzzy Williams, and also says RG. And a Pimpy Power coming through. Speaking of power, Evan Etzebeth still out there on the field at the moment for the Springboks. I don't believe he will be replaced. And also, we have got the Brazilian Kachacha or Kaka in your Ivy. So any yawning, says Brent. Or Brett, sorry, I should say, rather than Brent. My eyeballs are annoying me. They're trying to close. Probably fair enough. I mean, they have been open for 28 hours. And eventually they have to go like, hey, you know, we're supposed to be sleeping, bud. Now, going to be fed in by Luthu once again at the back. And not being mean to that Dion Foree, but surely there's better loose forward cover than Evan Ruiz, for example. Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they mentioned that Kwaka Smith was going to be promoted into the starting lineup with Jesper Wiese's injury, it made sense that someone like an Evan Ruiz would make his way into the side, but they instead decided to go with Foree as that choice. Yeah. Those are two matchsticks, so keep your eyes open. I'm calling you the marathon commentator. Long distance is your thing, average. Don't blink. You won't open your eyes again. Yeah, it's getting heavy. One penalty secures it, box. You're ready to study the inside of your eyelids, dude. Says Nuzzy Williams. I feel like this sums up my eyes at the moment perfectly from Diop there. Now almost through. Luthu thought he had the chance at the ball. Now the counter ruck from France. And tight is his RG just a little bit. You know, 28 hours up. Hasn't been the shortest day ever. Red card, says Brett. There as well. Now, going off to the short side. Anthony Geelong. Let's work hard there for a side. Luthu gets it into the pocket down into Mac, and also we're almost there, boss. The man of the match so far says DJ. That is going to go back onto the hands of Gertley Arden. So I would say, I mean, Faf de Klerk didn't have a bad game overall for the Springboks. And also alongside that, I mean, Seth Khaleesi's been solid. France are going to take this game, and then you do another 24 hours. Probably not very well, I wouldn't think. Not sitting here anyway, because this seat's almost too comfy. It's going to be the penalty to France now. Now they've got a big decision to make because they're currently down by 4. 3 points are nice and all, but 3 points would not get them into the lead in this contest, and it would not even get them drawing. Also, we get their notebook going to win, says Alta. Kicked into touch, so France going slightly more aggressive than some may have anticipated, but I think it's a smart move in the end. Curtly Alden, so just not quite able to roll away. And what's Guinness Book of World Records country while taking P. Anyone know this dude might be making history? Says Nuzzy Williams. And also, Hamish has gone 12 rounds with Mike Tyson, and he's still standing just amazing, says Stephen. Not bad for the box. With a man short and looking for a South African try, says RJ is going to be taking nicely. Sorry, RG. Now, Pito Mawaka still attached at the back for France. Now it's breaking away. It's going to be the advantage here. Still keeping on his feet. This is one of the ugliest rolling balls I think I've ever seen, but it was almost effective enough to get them over the line. Now Luthu going for the cross kick. They have still got the man, or they've got the penalty advantage, I should say. So they should go back for it. Yes, they do. Going down to the wire. So both teams have an area card right now. 14 men. Exactly right. They're both playing with 14. Yellow card. Or sorry, not a yellow card. A red. Hang on. This is a yellow card. Malcolm Marx. Or was it Dion Foree? Dion Foree now going off the field for the next 10 minutes. So he will only be back for like 7 seconds at the end of the game if he's extremely lucky. And also we have got their superb guitar playing for an exhausted Kiwi lad. And I took tablets for altitude sickness on my 26-hour hike Not suggesting you do, says Steph. And now it would be epic if you fell asleep live on YouTube. They talked about it earlier on another live stream, and I said, we're really going to try not to have that happen. But live streams are unpredictable. I can't even say words anymore to my full extent. My tongue doesn't know what to do with itself. Now, into Mac. That's been another sub, and that is Jalibert. Now making his way onto the field. Gone over the top. South Africa able to clean it up. Damien Valimza takes it nicely. Uh-oh. Just fell straight over the top there for Gelfiku. And also Akamon says back, and also we're going to no. And Dion Fourie says cited, and also France rocking them all like the English woman, says Hanoi Tripper. And there also, but now 10 minutes left. I can't think of anyone, to be honest, Nazi. And there's a... Can't think of anyone. They're saying they will finish the game a man short. Now, Marvin Ori on the field, I believe. That would be for Franco Mostert, but it could be for Etzebev. No, in fact, it is going to be for Sia Khaleesi, so I got that one slightly wrong. See, the field that they've got set at the moment, I don't think it's the best one because they've got 5 men all in a row. Is that Roman Intermac, the son of that old school Intermac guy from 1987 World Cup? Not too sure. Sorry, Marco. We dragged down by South Africa in great game. France playing poorly a lot of the eras of France. Hang in there, Hamish. One more try. Says Ruth. Get this box for you, Hamish. Here's Nazi Williams now back across. Drawing pass here for France. Down the wing, Sekou Makalu gets only 5 out from the line. Now Luthu, I thought he messed up that pass, but he did manage to find the hands of his number 18. Now Cameron Walkie has the ball. Another advantage, and the penalty goes the way of France. They could kick this one into the quarter if they want to. So let's go to Springboks. Says Brandon there as well. Also, we go there. Oh, wow, that's freaking awesome. Says Marco, and also, no, says RG. And let's go to Springboks. Says Brandon as well. I still don't know why France were favoured so heavily. South Africa, no mugs. Says Nazi Williams, exactly right. And now they are going to be going for the corner. They will be going for the line-out drive. I don't know. Oh, no, I read that one, didn't I? And come on the box, 7 minutes left, hang in there. Says Nate, and also we have got there Intermac 95 and 99 cup. Says Hanoi. Now Pieto Malvaka. They have said from the 1st of November. He is going to be signing with Stade France. A short ball for France. Close to the line, Mofana. Just down. Around the side. That ball is only a little bit away from the line now, less than a metre. And now it's going to be another advantage. That ball's on the line. And it's the penalty, or is it the try? I believe it's the try. Yes, it is. For France. And they will take the lead back now in the 73rd minute. And also drive them back, says RG, sorry. Also, we did have another message somewhere there, but I've lost it. It's a good try, though, for the French. 6 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize for the fact that my eyes are very, very droopy at the moment. It has been a very long night of streaming and being away for a long time. I was like, down it says RG. And I was like, yes, says Storm. In 10 minutes can seem like 2 hours. Hey, we're almost there. And also, I'm neutral on this one. Highlights will have to do for me. It looks like this could go either way, says Thomas. And also, we have got there, I should take quick conversion. Case cancelled. Or in case cancelled, says Hanoi. Just listening into the huddle, and then I realized I don't speak French. So I didn't know what was actually being said. Oh. Okay, they don't want him to take the conversion as of yet here. An advantage should have been called. That ball was moved over the line. And also, your effort deserves some KFC, dude, says Nazi Williams. Maybe one day we'll buy ourselves some KFC. Probably tomorrow or the next day, to be fair. George will probably be keen to go up. And also, ouch, this will be sore loss for the French, says Aaron. And also, blessed Sunday from Fiji, says Stanley. So I hope you are enjoying your morning. At the moment, there's a lot of sport coming up later on tonight. Or, in fact, actually not that much. It's just going to be New Zealand versus Scotland and Barbarians versus the All Blacks 15. Okay, the TMO, they cannot actually talk to him. They can't hear the TMO. So that means if they haven't got TMO, Wayne Barnes is going to have to make the decision, I think. At what time? AB Scott's tomorrow. Thanks, says Nazi Williams. So it is at about 3:15 a.m. Somewhere around there. And Cameron Barnes' face says Hanoi. And also we have got, well done, Fiji, perform. You put in a brave performance and go for the drop kick box, says RG. And South Africa is terrible, says Bitcoin Trend and Forecast. And we are nearly at 20k subs, bro. Onwards and upwards we go, says Marco Vanapola. Yeah, the support has been incredible. Okay, Wayne's asking questions. I think they've lost TMO. Oh, he's missed. Waiting a little bit longer than being able to take it straight away, and it does now mean that there will be still 1 point difference between these two sides. It could be a similar matchup to what we saw between the Waimeti side and their opposition. I just realized halfway through that sentence that no one will know where that is, so it didn't really make sense. But like, yeah, they have some games. I said that's a lot of drama, not drummer. Yeah. 4 minutes left. Nicely taken by Taufafanua. He has got through the air pretty well for a big man there. And the Bok now on the field. That is for Jesse Creel. There's another change that they have decided to make. Who's Stephen? He was saying, Stephen, you're not on your feet now. Oh, no, I don't know a Stephen. Oh, Stephen Kitsoff. Never mind. I know a Stephen now. Also, I should have done a Nigel Owens and called him on the phone. Says Step. And also, we have got to imagine this a World Cup final. We had everything fall past the box. And also, let's see what Labok can do. I'm worried that they haven't given him enough time, though. Like, he's only got about 3 minutes to try and create something big. You grab a Heineken for the last part, bro. Says Nazi Williams. We're powering through. To be honest, if there was another half after this, I feel like my eyes would have gone quiet. And come on, Faf, let's let it rip right over the line, says Ruth. Scrum reset. At the moment, Oza Raymond Taufafanua and that Malvaka are natives of Fortune and Wallace, a Polynesian island next to Samoa, Tonga, and Fiji. Never heard of them before, says Marco. I don't think I've heard of it either. To be fair, I've had this dream the other night. You were doing the commentary Japan versus Taiwan, and your background kept on changing. You turned around and said, make up your mind, and your background couldn't talk, or your background could talk. Background replied, I'm sorry, I'll try better next time. That was very polite to the background. Smelling salts will wake you up. And this is Defo game of the weekend. And also Rassi look primed to make another video, says Inui. 3 minutes left now. Luthu will be about to feed this ball in for... Oh, another man joins. Amir Dialende pack in on the side. And what's happening in the match? It is a scrum feed We were just waiting for the reset. We did have about 1 or 2 in a row now. It's going to be the advantage to France. They've got the chance to try and put an extra 3 points on the board here. And I see AKA, TKA, or AKA, TA Analytics. And then just waiting for the box winch, says Saturday Player. Now, oops. I think they're going to be going for the goalpost here. They've only got 60 seconds. Still 2 minutes left on the clock. I should mention. And also we lost, says DJ, although the game is not over yet. 2 minutes on the clock. Anytime Peter Steptoe gets put on the big screen, he pretty much hides straight away, always making make critical mistakes in the last half. And Peter Steptoe will have PTSD after this, says Hanoi. And also crazy that the Springboks are still hanging on with just 14 men, says the Arbo. Although the Kiwis have also got themselves 14 men in this contest, or not the Kiwis, sorry, the French have also only got the 14 on there as well. And also we have got there, Abroma male dog is on heat. I think he keeps trying to hunt me. I only thought females go on heat. My dog is faulty. That kick has just snuck in. So that will now make the score 30 points to 26. If New Zealand want to win, they do need to get themselves a try. And I believe that's it. Springboks have kicked short, trying to get the ball back. And they've done just that now. Kobus Reinach going off to the left-hand side. Mani Labok. Nice drawn pass, Willie LaRue. Gives it now to Makazole Mapimpi. He's had his ankles taken down. Still 50 seconds left on the clock. And also well done, France. Says Omi, and also they've got to do more than just have a power game now. Great counter-ruck from the French. So surely in an offside position, but it is going to be all right. Your bucket damage not long. Then call it a day, says David. And also we have got there. What time is that part of the world? Says Thialbo. So we are currently sitting 10:47 a.m. and I've been up since 7:30 a.m. yesterday, non-stop. So that's probably why my eyeballs keep on trying to close, which is unfortunate. Now 5 seconds left. France just going to hang on to this one by the looks of it. And it's fired back into the pocket. France have beaten the South Africans. And that is exactly what we saw last year for the Kiwis. We saw 2 in a row where they did lose to Ireland. Then they lost to France. Next game's going to be up against Italy. So we have to see how that matchup does go. I would have preferred the homies win, but you just can't underestimate the Frogs. And cheers, Hamish champion FFA. I have a good sleep, little chair. How many is Wayne Rooney selling his cows for? I don't know what the price would be. How big are the cows? Also, geez, there's some dedication there, says the elbow. And also, there, well done, France. Solid, strong hold, solid commentary, Amy. And Malo Samo, have a good rest, boss. Cheers for today, commentary, and get some sleep. Watch England beat Pakistan, says Saturday Player, and also game pivoted on the cards. Surely, there is a better way, says Pruck. And also, we need a new coach from RG. So I guess it would be interesting to see who they would go with if that was the case. And great call, mate, says David the Mod. And also get some rest, Hamish. Says, like, I will do just that, ladies and gentlemen. So the next thing that we are going to be doing on the channel will be All Blacks versus Scotland tonight. That is going to be coming up at about 3 a.m. Thanks for the comments. Get a good day's sleep, says Step there as well. But yeah, we will be having the cricket tomorrow morning, maybe. And then from there, we'll see how we're going. We are going to be doing that All Blacks versus Scotland game, though. That is a guarantee. So I do thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you guys all sleep well or have a great afternoon. And yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. And we will see you all for the next one.